What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Marlon. We are back at it again with another edition of the show. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, including myself. As promised, we have a massive Xbox show for you guys and girls today. For those of you who are brand new to the channel, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and turn on that post notification bell so you never miss out on the daily PlayStation and Xbox stuff that we cover right here on the channel for you guys. So do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, and subscribe. Oh boy. So, Microsoft. Some would say that Microsoft had an amazing showcase, right? And rightfully so. This past Sunday, I felt like they showed more first-party games than ever before. But the problem is, and I've always said this, is gameplay is king over every single thing. And they did not show a lot of gameplay. The Series X at this point in time just seems like a dinosaur, because on one end, we heard in the very beginning that this system is supposed to be the second coming of Christ. Like, it's the world's most powerful console known to man. But at the same time, gamers like myself, hardcore gamers like myself, are still hungry for what? For more. For the full potential of the Series X. And we are not getting that. And I think that's where we have to draw the line as gamers. It's like, okay, what is going on here? Did Microsoft lie about the Series X? Like what's happening? Right? We having games that are being developed for Series X, Xbox One, all the different SKUs and everything like that. And at the same time, we still can't really see the full potential of what we're paying for. And that is a problem. And now, after the dust has settled when it comes to the Xbox showcase and the Starfield showcase, more and more details are starting to come out pertaining to, well, yeah, Starfield. Obviously, this is the biggest game, right, that is coming out for Xbox and the series consoles and Xbox fan. But the problem is, I feel like we're on the brink of the limit of what these consoles can do. And it's sad because we're just 3 years in, and one company, well, Sony that is, have been pushing the envelope when it comes to performance in their games, because now we're in a generation where we can expect higher resolution, higher frame rate, ray tracing, right, for the first time, and also just an overall higher quality because we're paying a premium price. Well, that's that, right? But more on the Sony side, less on the Xbox side. And I've said this numerous times. Now, your opinion doesn't mean anything, because when I played Final Fantasy 16, I was literally blown. I was so engaged with the actual story and the gameplay. But I also pointed out that, hey, the game have some performance issues. Like, I could see where the frames are dropping and things of that nature. But for some reason, when I went into quality mode, I said to myself, I said, I just can't do it. You know, I got to get back to performance. Every single time. It's like I play in quality mode just for a little minute, but then I switch back to performance, because to me, performance is just the best way to play. And so We already know that Final Fantasy 16 is that game that was developed exclusively for PlayStation 5. They had PS4 in mind, but the PS4 version got canceled. So there's nothing holding back this game, right? And when I say that that game just blew me away, it was one of the best demos that I've ever played. One of the best games I've ever played this year, hands down. And once again, what console am I playing that on? PlayStation 5. Now, granted, one would say there are issues with the FPS. Yes, no game is perfect, right? Nobody's coming out saying the game is perfect. But my God, the story, the gameplay, the combat, the voice acting, I mean, the boss battles, it's amazing. It's really amazing. And I see some people calling me out on Twitter. Well, Marlon, the game is far from a masterpiece. Well, why are you saying that? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because it's not at 60 FPS. Are you kidding me? So you're telling me because the game is not at 60 FPS, it's not a masterpiece? I'm trying to tell you about these fanboys. I'm trying to tell you guys about how crazy people are to fuel console war for no reason at all, right? Because it's like a game has to be 60 FPS to be a masterpiece. Can you believe that? Right? The reason why we stress so much about FPS is because we expect that, because we spend $500 on the 9th generation of consoles. We spend $500 expecting better performance than what we have gotten from PS4 and Xbox One, right? But no. 30 FPS is okay, right? We don't need to speak up as gamers. And it's the same thing whenever you're trying to make a purchase. Well, we didn't hesitate to spend $500, did we? Did any of you guys in this stream right now hesitated to spend $500 or even second guess to spend $500? No, you did not. Whether you're an Xbox fanboy, whether you're a PlayStation fanboy, you did not hesitate. You went out there. Sony got 8K on the box, right? Well, that's their marketing issue. There's no way. I don't know why people thought to themselves that PS5 could do 8K gaming, right? Series X, a monster of a system, specs wise. We're not talking about the split memory situation, but at the same time, we're not talking about the bottleneck situation that's going on with the system. But at the same time, 12 teraflop of computing power in terms of the GPU, right? In terms of graphics, and that's what the fanboys was bragging and boasting about. None of us hesitated to spend $500. But these consoles are far from perfect. And the problem is that, well, Final Fantasy 16, yeah, that game is garbage. On what grounds are you saying that on? Well, yeah, the frame rate. Oh, yeah, it's not a masterpiece because the frame rate is not 60 FPS. Well, Yoshi P has already come out and said, listen, we're going to put out a patch, right, to fix the 60 FPS. Now, some people will say 30 FPS was the main vision for the game in the first place, right? Quality mode was the only mode for Final Fantasy 16 in the first place. And they just throw performance mode on the back end. Really now? Really? Well, that's what the rumor mill is actually saying. And yes, like I said, when I was playing the game, I've noticed the drop in frames. Was it unplayable? No. And that's why I'm saying it's better than you having a performance mode than not having one. Imagine if the game was in quality mode and dropping frames like that, drastically dropping frames like that. Then what? So you see what I'm saying? And now we're living in an era where 30 FPS is the norm. Are we? I don't know what we're smoking, but let me tell you something. Whether it's capped or it's supposed to be capped or uncapped or VRR or whatever the case may be, you see what I'm saying? You can't. It's like nothing you do is going to bring joy and happiness to your heart. whether it's PS5, whether it's Series X, because Final Fantasy 16 is having frame rate issues and people are just saying like, oh man, see this, see that. But at the same time, at least you get the performance mode versus not having it at all. Now, it's sad because my experience of Final Fantasy 16 was on masterpiece level. That story was so good. The combat was so good. The only thing I said I did not like is the movement. Sometimes, like how Clive just seems to be sliding across when you go left, right, and you know, it's like he's sliding across. Obviously, that could be fixed. Some of the stuff can be fixed. Nobody's saying that it's perfect, but there's some little things there, right? So that's that. Starfield. Let me put a timestamp on this. Make sure y'all like the stream, share the stream, subscribe. I'm about to go in. I hope you're ready. I hope y'all ready. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, because I'm about to go in on this Father's Day. So, you see the title of the joint. We're going to talk about Phil Spencer's take on Starfield in terms of quality. Because all of a sudden we say one thing and then we're backtracking what we were saying before. So, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Series S. How that seems to be a drag when it comes to gaming development, right? We're going to talk about everything, right? We're also going to talk about the fact of Matt Booty coming out more than ever. Talking about Series S. Talking about Xbox development cycle on how long these games take to make. Yeah, Matt Booty is coming out now, like more than ever before. So we're going to talk about Mr. Booty a whole lot in this stream. And we're going to be talking about Phil Spencer and his recent input. Okay. So, without further ado, if you do appreciate these Sunday streams, don't hesitate to super chat. Don't hesitate to subscribe. Don't hesitate to hit that like button. All right. So, first topic. Series X. Apparently, I'm going to say apparently. Series X apparently is struggling to run Starfield. Now, listen. This is pretty sad. It's really sad because we've been lied to. We've been bamboozled. We've been tricked. Like, I don't understand, because yes, the Series X is the world's most powerful console, but at the same time, it seems to me like these games that are in development right now from like 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 7 years ago, are struggling to run on these systems. Not only that, but games that is supposedly built from the ground up for XYZ system are also struggling as well. And it's so freaking sad to me, right? It's so sickening to me that this is the reality. Because we spend $500 to graduate from PS4 performance, graduate from Xbox One performance, and go off into 60 FPS. And we can't even get 60 FPS. Now, Microsoft made a comment about Series X Pro and saying that that's not in the cards right now. And it's very, very sad because we don't need a Series X Pro. What we need is developers fully utilizing the Series X, not the S, the X, because the X is the most powerful version of the Series console. And that's not going to happen, because it seems as though that every single time we're waiting for Microsoft to be showing us, I'm going to start from B. I ain't even going to start from A. I'm going to start from B. B showing us the full potential of the Series X. A showing us at the bottom of their showcases that this game, XYZ game, is running on Series X. Apparently, that's just way too hard, right? So instead, what we get is a mixture of cinematics and a mixture of pre-rendered cutscenes sandwiched together. No release dates, no nothing. Just here you go. A bunch of in-game footage and everybody is happy. That's the gaming world that we live in today. You see what I'm saying? People are willing to settle. People are not willing to demand more. We're willing to settle. And that's a freaking problem, right? So why are we talking about this console, the world's most powerful console, struggling to run I think at this point it's safe to say that Starfield is too much of a game for the Series X. Because if this system is so powerful, regardless of the shared development when it comes to the Series S, the little brother to the X, this game should perform immaculate. This game should be the superior version on Series X, right? Look at the PS5, for instance. Every single cross-generation game, you can definitely tell the difference between PS4 and PS5. If you look at the PS4 version of Horizon Forbidden West and look at the PS5 version, you can see the difference. Am I talking to myself here? Same thing with God of War Ragnarok. You can look at the PS4 version of God of War Ragnarok and you can look at the PS5 version of God of War and you can see the difference, right? Whether it's a marginal difference to you, I mean, everything is opinionated, or whether it's a small difference, you could see a difference. That's the whole main ordeal. You can see a difference. So I just don't get it, man. All these games that are currently in development at Xbox, I just don't get it. Like, there's really, and I've said this before, when it comes to Starfield is that game is going to let everybody know you don't need to buy an Xbox Series console at all. If you're a hardcore gamer, you better buy a PC. I've said it numerous times because it's a waste of time to sit there and look at your Series X and be like, such and such game is gonna fully utilize, you know, the console, and then it don't happen. So then what, right? Where a lot of us is waiting on Hellblade 2. A lot of us is waiting on Fable and waiting on Perfect Dark and State of Decay 3. These are supposed to be series console only games, right? So let's get to the meat and potatoes of why we're talking about what we're talking about, because this is some bull crap and it's very, very sad to say this. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive off into this one. So Digital Foundry confirms that Starfield, not even true 4K. I think this is about what, 66%? Bro, 1296p? 1290. Let's sit down wherever you are. What a shame. What a shame. Digital Foundry said, now this is well below 1440p. This is below 1440p. This ain't even nothing close to 4K. On the world's most powerful console. The console that they said that was gonna power our dreams. 1296p. Sit down where you are and let this marinate in your brains. How is that even possible? On the world's most powerful console. Let's look at the specs of the Series X. The Series X boasts a 3.8 gigahertz CPU, 16 gigabyte of GDDR6 RAM, R6 RAM, 12 teraflop of GPU power, 52 CUs at 1.8 gigahertz. Like, okay, you look at that specs and you're like, wow, man, a game like Starfield should be able to run at 60 no problem. Nope. Because apparently, according to Phil Spencer and according to Todd Howard, it's a creative decision. It's a creative decision to build this game on series consoles at 30 FPS. It's a creative decision to prioritize fidelity and not 60 FPS. What are we going to do about it? Nothing. 1296p. What in the world? What in the world? And 30 FPS on Series X, which we already know that. Now, check this out. Series S is as low as 864p. Did y'all just hear what I just said? Series S is as low as 864p. That's not even 1080p. What a joke. What a shame. What a freaking shame. Like, this is freaking crazy. This is literally freaking crazy. Like, bro, it's lies after lies after lies. This is coming from Digital Foundry. This ain't no rumor. I repeat, breaking news. This is coming from Digital Foundry. The experts, the people who analyze games and go even deeper beyond the pixels. 864p. But no, we're sitting here. Yes, Microsoft, a new Series S. Yes. We're going to save the whole Series S conversation in the latter part of it. What a freaking joke. Loading screens when you enter and exit a building. Loading screens, right? In some ways, I feel like the PS4 and the Xbox One is still here to haunt us after almost 13 years later. We still right back at square one with loading screens, 30 FPS, and obviously these obnoxious resolutions. This is a disgrace to the 9th generation of consoles. And one would say, oh, this is why you need a pro version. Really? Really? It's like every generation, it's the same thing over and over again. Oh, we need a pro. That's going to fix everything. Right? But we've been lied to as consumers. Right? Aaron Greenberg, oh, 60 FPS is the standard. Right? As long as developers fully utilize the capabilities of the hardware. Well, one of the biggest things that I looked at the beginning of this generation, I'll tell you guys, PS5 is more easy to develop for. Look it up. You don't believe me? Microsoft was praising the PS5 for being much more easier to develop for, right? A lot of developers was praising it. When a system is more easy to develop for, same thing with the 360. Come on, make this make sense, Marlon. I'm making it make sense for you. Whenever, from a developer standpoint, whenever a console or a hardware is easier to code and to develop for, you get better performance. You get better looking projects on that said hardware. On the Series X, right? When it comes to the tools and all that, Microsoft has changed up their tools the last time I freaking heard, right? And it's even more harder for developers to get used to the tools or to even develop for Series X and S, right? Now, granted, developers are trying to push themselves to develop for Series X and S. Also, we have AMD that's powering these chips in these consoles. And then we have FSR, right? Which is supposed to be taking place over what we have gotten when it comes to, well, NVIDIA, right? With obviously, you guys know what I'm talking about there. But super resolution is supposed to take over, right? And take that native resolution and whatever it is and boost it, or take that FPS and boost it even further. And I don't see super resolution being applied here with something like Starfield. I feel like something like Starfield would benefit from super resolution. That's not the case, ladies and gentlemen. These developers are not even fully implementing what we were told that they had access to. Remember, was it like 2 years ago? We heard AMD come out and said, oh yeah, so here's what's gonna be happening. Because we already know exactly what's happening here, right? And a lot of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. Nah Boy says, power your dreams with the clown emote. Listen, man, I don't know what else to say. I just don't know what else to say. Because AMD Fidelity FX is supposed to be taking over these consoles, and developers have access, right, to this super resolution FSR, cutting edge, upscaling technology to be able to upscale these games. We have seen it with time and time again from different games here and there between PS5 and Series X, third party wise. We have seen it with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, right, with FSR, with the upscaling technology. And it is so sad. We still have loading screens, right? The game is so massive that it's bringing the Series X to its knees, right? Right down to its knees at this point. No ray tracing, obviously. This is why I don't believe anything from Xbox until it's confirmed by a third party. What a shame. What a shame. What a freaking shame. Not even true 4K. What a shame. The box that is supposed to be giving us true 4K, we can't even get that at 60 FPS. Something that is supposed to be so easy, we can't even get that. All we have gotten is a bunch of broken promises. What a shame. So you got to ask yourself, do I want to play Starfield at 1296p, or should I go get a PC? You got to ask yourself these questions, because now the next topic that we're going to go over and discuss has to do with Microsoft making this shift that they're going to be doing. And let's just say we're going to dig even further into that. But Starfield right now, as we speak, is seeming like it's way too big of a game, like they've been saying, to run on these systems, especially the measly Series S. Now, I've said it numerous times. I feel like the Series S is a console that is just labeled as the casual console. It is not a console for the hardcore. It's not. And Microsoft is focusing all their attention on the Series S, not the X, the S, because the S for them is the $sign, right? Because they know that if you buy a Series S, you're going to be locked into their ecosystem via Game Pass. It's a Game Pass machine, right? Wasting all this money and advertisement just to tell us, oh yeah, we're going to up 3 years later, we're going to give you a 1 terabyte option in the Series S. You know what? Microsoft? I think what would be really lovely. Listen to me. I'm not an expert in the field or anything like that. I'm far from an expert. But I tell you this, instead of wasting our time showing us a black Series S with the same potato GPU, you don't listen to developers, do you? When developers have been coming out since the beginning of time, since the beginning of these consoles, basically telling you that the Series S is underpowered, and you need to pull the Series S away from the X because it's holding back the X. They was not lying. 4 teraflops? Really? 10 gig of RAM? Really? Seriously, that is not enough. It's not enough for a game like Starfield. It's not enough for a game like Hellblade 2. It's not enough for a game like State of Decay 3. Are you hearing me? It's not enough for Perfect Dark. Do you see what I'm saying? All those games, Fable, all those games are for the hardcore. People are expecting higher performance for those games. Am I making sense here? Or are we just sleeping the day on Father's Day? What are we doing, Microsoft? What are we really trying to achieve here? Are we just caring about Game Pass to see how much more subscribers that we can get? And just keep making games at 30 FPS and making excuses and have all these obnoxious resolutions, 860p, right? I don't know, 720p resolution in 2023. Really? It's like, if it was me, like Microsoft, after you supposedly delivered a solid Xbox showcase, why not give us a Series S Pro?
Yes, we will.
Listen, it pisses me off. You waste all that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people in this stream right now would agree with me. Why waste time 3 years later showing us a Series S with just 500 gigs more of storage? Why not give us a Series S Pro? Developers have been crying out, oh, wait until we get to the Matt Booty side of things today. And I'm showing you how hypocritical these companies are. A lot of you guys would agree with a Series S Pro. Give us more GPU power. I'm serious. Instead of 4 teraflops, how about 8? Or how about 10? How about 10? Forget 8. How about 10? How about 10? Can we at least get 10 in terms of the teraflop? Can we at least get, instead of 10, can we at least get 16? Or can we at least get 14? Just a little bit more? If you're going to be making a shift with Series X and S moving forward, is that too much to ask? You more than capable of doing that and giving us a Series S Pro. I mean, let's be honest. A more powerful machine than what we have gotten 3 years ago. Missed opportunity. It pisses me off. And we got this idiotic freaking fanboys out here damage controlling for Microsoft. Since we're in an era where we're asking for pro systems, can we act like professionals? Can we call out these companies and stop fanboying for these companies and call them out and make a, how about you give us a Series S Pro so these games can actually look better and perform better? Since the X has to be attached to the S. That's not too much to ask. I'm sick and tired of the bull crap. Yes, I am. Because not only we are getting held back, I'm so sick and tired of us being held back when it comes to power and performance. This is 2023, man. This is not 2007. What in the world is this? Is not 2009. This is not 2003. This is 2023 and we sleeping right now and we need to wake up. These companies, oh, so you want us to sit there and pay $350 for the same performance. The same exact performance. Just 500 gig more storage. Not worth it. Missed opportunity. You could have said, you know what? Come out and say, here's a Series X Pro Series S, here's the Pro version of it, $399. So you got $499 and you got $399, or maybe $350. I don't know. Wow, that would have been so huge. And getting that in the hands of developers so that we can get better experiences, higher performance, higher resolution. But now, the fanboys are just drooling over the Series S Black Edition. Oh, it's so sexy. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, yeah. I'm getting this one. Oh, this is new hardware, baby. The same exact system that gives you blurry freaking resolution, right? Now, the frame rate, obviously, you ain't gonna get no crazy frame rate. Majority of the time, it's at 30 FPS. So it's basically you're buying an Xbox One S all over again, just with a little bit better hardware. That's it. What a joke. The biggest game, right? The game actually does look good. I told you guys that Starfield is a lifestyle. It's not a game. It's actually a lifestyle, right? Is Starfield, you're going to be living in Starfield. Not playing. I mean, obviously, literally speaking, you're going to be playing, but you're going to be living that Starfield life, right? And it's so sad to say, as console gamers, once again, Microsoft has given us that big fat L. We got to take that big fat L. Once again. Being let down once again. Now, you can say that, Marlon, the facial animations in Starfield don't look as great. I can agree with that. But besides the facial animation, the game looks good. Now, if you say the game looks like garbage, well, that's your opinion. I'm not fixing to fall into that trap of being no fanboy or being no hater like they say. The game, I said it during the Xbox showcase, the game actually looks good. And I would want to play the game, but I'm not playing that game at no 30 FPS. I don't care what I got to do to save up and get a much more powerful PC in order to play this game at 60 FPS. I don't care what I have to do. I want to be able to play Starfield and enjoy it, but not on series consoles. It's a joke. It's a waste of time. And it's a shame, because you would think, well, according to Phil Spencer, we're not gonna just pay too much attention to the PC master race, because it seems as of late that's all Microsoft been focusing on more. Game Pass and the PC and the cloud. But what about the console gamer? Or let me rephrase this. What about the Series X gamer? You hear what I just said? The Series X gamer. Because right now, Microsoft's main focus is the X. Right? The underperforming S, not the X. So let's put this in perspective. Right? The Series S is basically the Nintendo Switch of Microsoft consoles. You see how people knock out on the Nintendo Switch, knock out on Zelda Breath of the Wild for being 30 FPS, right? These same Xbox fanboys knocking out at Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for being 30 FPS, not realizing that this thing is a tablet. This thing is thinner than a book. Like a closed book. It's very thin, right? It's a tablet running a game twice the size of Elden Ring. But yet still, it's over 9,000. We're calling out Nintendo for 30 FPS and not realizing these same fanboys can't call the kettle black, because look at the Series S. Look at the Series S. It ain't no better. Because the Series S and the X are 30 FPS machines. This is the second time around. This is our second rodeo now. Redfall, 30 FPS. Well, according to Matt Booty, Arcane Austin is going to continue to do what they do, right? In terms of developing games, they're already working on their next game, but also they're working on updates for Redfall, right? So one would really think, let's put on our computer hats here. One would say that the Series S is holding back the X, rightfully so. Because now you gotta think about the weaker console. Develop for the weaker console, the lowest common denominator, and then develop for the higher end machine. Port the game over to the higher end machine and obviously work out the bugs, glitches, performance, whatever, resolution, whatever the case, similar to the PlayStation 5. That's why a lot of people wanted Sony to shift, which let me go ahead and shift to our next topic. This is sad, man. This is sad. As gamers, we need to demand better. I don't give a doggone if you're a Sony fanboy, Xbox fanboy. I don't care what you are. You better start demanding better, because it hurts all of us. When we sit here and be hypocrites and not call these companies out, this is what happens. I'll get to y'all super chat in just a second. So don't know if you heard, but Microsoft, according to Matt Booty, they are finally shifting away from the Xbox One. Thank you. Wait, where's my hand clap? My hand clap. I hate when my hand clap does not work. They're finally shifting away. They're finally, I don't know if y'all just hear what I said. Microsoft is finally shifting away. They're finally shifting away from the Xbox One generation. Right? They should have been did that a long time ago. But now they're shifting strictly to Series S and X. What does that mean? That means that, well, next generation from here on out. A lot of these games that are still in development, Indiana Jones, State of Decay 3, what else? Hellblade 2, all these, Gears of War 6, all these games, right? Forza Motorsport, these are next generation only games, right? But here is the problem that's still lingering. The Series S is still attached to the X. You see, on the Sony side of things, they have a PS5 standard edition with a disc drive, and they also have a digital PS5 with the same hardware specs, right? So nothing is holding back anything for the PS5, because when Sony made that shift and said, listen, when they did that live from PS5, they basically was showing us like, listen, we're shifting from PS4 to PS5. Actually, God of War Ragnarok was the last main game that was developed with PS4 in mind. Now everything is being developed for PS5. So there's nothing holding back PS5 right now. The only thing that's holding back PS5 is PS5. There's nothing else, right? So developer have all the freedom to just develop with PlayStation 5 in mind. On the Series console side of things, no, you still got to worry about that little booger, which is the Series S. Missed opportunity for Microsoft. They should have announced a Series S Pro version. Missed opportunity. How hard is it for you to sit there and say, you know what? Let's give you a 1 terabyte Series S or a 1.5 terabyte Series S. I mean, you can do that. 1.5 terabyte Series S, right? For $400, right? More powerful CPU, more powerful GPU, faster RAM. All right. So if you want, basically, if you want a little bit more power, just right under the Series X, here you go. Some people will go as far as to say, well, how about a Series S digital only console? Nope. Missed opportunity. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So with Microsoft shifting just strictly to Series consoles, Will that make a difference? Considering that we're now seeing that Starfield is being developed with just the Series console in mind. And we're getting garbage resolution like 1296p and 864p. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Let's go ahead and let's get to these super chats. Cool guy, thank you for the $2. Says Xbox said Starfield is the most important RPG ever. Scott Woodford, thank you for the $5. Says Series S is able to perform better than the developers allows. Do as I know friends that are game developers. Okay, Larry, thank you for the $1. So if the Series S can perform better, why are we not seeing that? Why are developers complaining since the very beginning? Why was developers complaining since the very beginning about Series S? Calling it potato GPU because of the limited amount of RAM and the limited amount of because it's just bottlenecking the games, right? It's underpowered. It's too underpowered. Why were they so many? Answer me that question. Why were they so many? If the Series S is so capable, why is so many developers complaining about it and stressing about it, that they need more power? That hip with the 60 months says, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Now go to sleep. Appreciate that. Now, let's go ahead and let's move on, because we're not even done yet, man. This sucks, man. It's all lies. It's all lies. Check this out. I wanna really highlight some things for you guys. I want to really let y'all see what's actually going on here. So, Microsoft says that devs should plan better to get games running on Series S. Xbox isn't ditching the Series S anytime soon. Okay, so there you go. Series S ain't going nowhere. Series S, I'm going to say it again. Series S, for those of you who are saying that Microsoft needs to get rid of the S, it ain't going nowhere anytime soon, because that's the Game Pass machine right there. When it comes to console, that's the money maker for Microsoft right there. Because once you buy that machine, you have to sign up for Game Pass. There's all rest is just gonna sit there and gather dust, right? Now, listen to what Microsoft said. I want to put emphasis on this. Microsoft says that devs should plan better to get games running on Series S. It occurs to me that if you want games running good on said console, you have to make sure that the developers have all the tools. Mark Cerny talked about this. Having that developer freedom, right? And not suffocating the idea of development freedom, because clearly the GDK, whatever the case may be, the tools, and Microsoft switching up their tools and making it even harder for developers to develop for series consoles on, it's definitely really showing, right? It's definitely really showing. And also, this has to do with management. You have to do a better job managing these studios. Matt Booty over here apologizing for Redfall. If you guys would have done your job and listened to what Arcane Austin was saying, because they wanted to bail from this game. They wanted to cancel this game, right? The game went from supposedly a games as a service or something like that to a single player game or whatever, / co-op, whatever the case may be. And now that game ended up being a disaster, right? Because we lack the vision. We don't really see what the vision really is. If a developer is telling you like, listen, man, we don't need to put this out there because Not only it's not going to run good on the console, but also the vision is just not there. We cannot fulfill our vision in terms of development, in terms of this game, right? So you're telling me that you want devs to plan better. What they're working with. Why are they complaining about the Series S so much? Because the limited capabilities of the machine. And the Series S is holding back the X. Because the X is, on paper, is supposed to be this monster of a freaking system, and we're not seeing that. So it's almost as if like PS4 being attached to PS5. Make sense? Okay. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Company won't allow devs to skip the Series S and launch exclusively on the X. Whoa! Get your Charmin Ultras. Get your Charmin Ultras. Get your bounty papers and start crying, because the crying starts now. Microsoft is saying that they won't allow developers to skip the Series S. So, games are going to continue to look how they look. And we have no choice but to say, hey, we're going to vote with our wallets and not buy it. Or we're going to buy it. Or we're going to demand more. See the or. So yeah, you heard it here, right here. Microsoft just said they're not going to allow developers to skip the S. So the S will forever hold back the X. Because it's just underpowered. It's the same thing with the PS4. The PS4 was underpowered. Right? And that's why everybody was whining and complaining about Sony. You need to leave the PS4 behind because it's holding back the PS5. Am I making sense? This don't look good, man. This don't look good. You see, it's like you can't win. It's a double-edged sword. You can't win. On one end, you want to be the best value in gaming, and that's what Microsoft is doing. It's very apparent. Microsoft and Sony has two different visions. Sony is continuing to give in the best single-player experience possible, alongside with live service and multiplayer experiences and the cloud and mobile, right? Microsoft, on the other hand, is aggressively in a subscription service. Sony is not. Sony is like, we're not doing day and date. That's not going to happen, right? We're going to put our games, our first party games, in our subscription services whenever we feel like, right? But we're not doing day and date. We don't have to do day and date, right? It's not a need. It's not a want. Like, we don't have to. We really don't have to. We could just keep on releasing our games the way we've been releasing them. And that is okay for us, because that works with our vision and our goal and what we set out to do for our fan base, for our gamers, right? Whereas Microsoft, they're the value box. Microsoft wants to cram and sandwich enough value into Game Pass. And it occurs to me that even if it sacrifices quality, that's okay. That's okay. Because guess who's going to eat it all up? The Xbox fan base. They're going to eat it. They don't care. Even if it means that the quality of the games are not what they're supposed to be. Nah, it's okay because it's in Game Pass. Right? In the words of Phil Spencer. Right? Yeah, no. We're going to try to take care of the console gamer. We're going to make sure that every console gamer that buys an Xbox console feels validated. Right? Feels like we're adding not just value, but a quality experience for the games. Really, Phil? Is that really what's happening here? Because all those games that you showed, majority of them didn't even have release dates. Majority of them were in-engine and in-game footages. Nothing raw gameplay. You still are not showing us raw gameplay on the Series X or the S. How hard is it for games that are coming out for the Series S? Show that running on Series S, what resolution, what FPS. It's not hard. But yet still we're willing to settle. We are willing to settle because no, it's free. We got Game Pass. It don't matter. We don't need to demand better. Oh, Starfield, I can play that. It don't matter. It's in Game Pass, right? As ambitious as Starfield is. I mean, 25 years in the making. Are you kidding me? Right? But yet still on the world's most powerful console, Starfield is supposed to be that game that make us say, wow, finally a game that makes me feel like my Series X was worth the purchase. Some of you guys are sitting there right now like, man, why did I even buy a Series X for? Waste of money, waste of time. Because even though Microsoft is coming out making the statement about making the shift strictly to series consoles in terms of development and leaving the Xbox One behind, it's still the same thing because the Series S is still attached. All right. So listen to this. And I don't know how true this is, right? But obviously this has been making the rounds. Starfield performance dropped to 19 FPS. 19 FPS. 19 FPS. Wow. 19. Sit down and listen to what I'm saying. 19 FPS. I looked at that direct and I said, man, the game looks good, but the performance is an issue. Right? And I saw the frame drops. I literally saw the frame drops and I'm like, wow, I can see the frame. Like you don't need a glasses to see it. You can see the frame drops. You don't need a microscope to see it. You can see the frame drops. And it's already bad enough that we're at 30 FPS. What happens when you drop from that 30? What happens when you go down to 15 or go down to 20? What happens when there's a bunch of things happening on screen? Now, the most amazing, let's think about what I'm about to say. And I need y'all to put on your imaginary hats. This is almost like the greatest thing I've heard about Starfield. And I'm excited about Starfield, but I'm not going to play Starfield on no freaking series consoles. It's a waste of time and it's a joke. It really is. 864p? Okay. Anyways, listen to this. This is the most insane thing that I've heard about Starfield, and it even gets me even more excited to play the game. According to Todd Howard, while adventuring, Todd jumps onto a ship while fighting enemies during a sandstorm, and the ship just took off. So you see how insane this game is? A sandstorm. Now, sand and storm is not an easy thing to render, right? I mean, it's going to use up a lot of GPU RAM, right? It's going to use up a lot of processing power. I mean, it's going to be using up the system, especially a game that is strictly from a creative standpoint, Creation Engine 2.0 standpoint, with the lighting and the reflections and the real-time effects and ID software helping out with the graphics and helping out with the development of Starfield, right? Listen, let's see. Just a few weeks ago, I had landed on one of the early planets, and this sandstorm blew through, and I went to, obviously, ran away from it. All right. Now, the ships can randomly, once in a while, they can randomly land. So you could be on a planet and the ships could just randomly land, right? Enemy ships can land. So I am going through the sandstorm. The ship landed and I get in this firefight and I got on the ship. And while I'm shooting the guys on the surface of the planet in the ship took off in space. The ship just took off into space. So now I'm on the outer space on the ship. And I was like, Can that happen? I guess that can happen. Yeah. What does that tell you about Starfield? Starfield is just too much of a game for the series consoles. Once again, we're being bottlenecked. We're being lied to by these consoles, right? By this bullcrap marketing. Power your dreams. Well, how come you can't power a game like Starfield? A game that is shaping up to be really good in my eyes, because I'm not going to be like everybody else hating on this game. My only problem with Starfield, in the very beginning, I told you guys, I was like, nope, this did not look good. A lot of people were saying the same thing. The game did not look good. The shooting mechanics, it just did not look good in the very beginning when I first saw the game. But all that delay and all that development time, Todd and the team was able to fix a lot of the issues. And when I saw the game again with my own two eyes during that Xbox Direct, I was like, yeah, the game looks good. I said it. I even said it in my Xbox review, my Xbox Showcase review. The game looks good. It just, they need to fix the performance. There is so much thing that you can do in Starfield. So many things, right? So many planets to explore, right? So many things to do. So many ships to build, right? So many weapons at your disposal, right? Customization, stealth, whatever you want to do, it's there. It's like GTA of RPGs, of space. It's GTA in space, literally massive, right? But yet still, we're still limited. Yet still, we're still here demanding pro systems. Once again, 3 years in the gate, and we're still demanding pro systems because more and more games are going to come out. It ain't just Final Fantasy 16. Look at Horizon 5, right? As good as that game was running on Series X, there was some pop-ins. No game is perfect, but it's funny how Xbox fanboys, oh yeah, dog. Yeah, look at Final Fantasy 16. It's garbage. And look at Clive just shimmying across the wall. Look at Clive. See me shimmying across the wall? The game is garbage, Marlon. You're calling this game a masterpiece? It's not a masterpiece. But coming from the same set of frauds who is sitting there saying, oh yeah, Final Fantasy 16 should be on series consoles. It should be on Game Pass. But on the back end, you bash the freak. You see how hypocritical these dudes are? Right? Bunch of frauds, flip-floppers. One hand, you saying that the game should be on series console and Game Pass. And on the other hand, you're bashing the game, saying the game is garbage. Saying the game is not a masterpiece. Well, why? Because it ain't running at 60 FPS. When clearly they said that they will fix it. Clearly they said they're working on a patch for it, right? But let's not be fooled by just the FPS. If the game is good, then it's good. Performance is one thing. At least you have that performance option. At least Yoshi P is not coming out saying, oh yeah, it's just fidelity mode. And yeah, it's a creative decision. Yeah. We're going with this one with fidelity. We're not gonna sacrifice fidelity for performance. When are we gonna wake up and smell the coffee? When are we gonna stop dreaming? In the eyes of Todd Howard, who cares about performance? We're not gonna sacrifice fidelity for performance. Yeah. Sad. This is supposed to be an exciting time. So what's going to happen with Perfect Dark? What's going to happen with Indiana Jones? What's going to happen with State of Decay 3? Guys, do you understand that these games are going to be even more advanced? The longer they're in development, the longer technology improves. The development cycle, according to Matt Booty, is 5+ years for these games. Right? 5+ years. Microsoft just announced a game and it's going to take about 10 freaking years to develop. 10 years. Y'all better wake up and stop playing. Some of y'all sleeping today. Y'all sleeping. Freaking, you gotta be kidding me. 19 FPS. Right? Resolution is confirmed not to be native 4K either, but much lower than 1296p, 66% of 4K. And we're defending this crap. Oh my goodness, man. This is so sad, bro. This is so sad. This is sad. Like, it just goes to show you. You don't believe me? Let me see if I could, all right, let me show you guys. Y'all think that this is a game. This is a joke. Hold on. Let me see if I can. All right, hold on. Look at this. Look at the top left. I want to show you guys something. Hold on. You think I'm joking? All right, let's see if I can switch. Look at that. Look at that. What does it say up in the top left? 22 FPS. Look at that. Huh? Look at it. 19 FPS. Look at that. 19 FPS. Right? Nah, but 30 FPS is okay. 30 FPS is okay. Right? No. 30 FPS is okay. This is the problem. No. 30 FPS is okay. Talking your mouth full of garbage. 30 FPS is all right. No, we're okay with 30 FPS. We're okay with that. Right? We are okay with 30 FPS. No, that's okay, Marlon. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take that. It's sad, man. It's wow. All right. Matt Booty said that Xbox Game Studio literally, right, when it has said that both game players and the industry in general need to realize that most big games now have development cycles of around half of a decade. Okay, there's that. All right, let's move on. Now, Perfect Dark, State of Decay 3 are on track for gameplay deep dives within 18 months. How are these games going to run? Xbox Game Studios head Matt Booty says that the first party teams are aware that the expectations going forward will be to showcase gameplay for their time. Listen, hold on. I'm about to go in. Come on, camera, focus. Some of you dudes come after me, right? Some of y'all came after me saying, oh, why did you give the Xbox Showcase such a low score? Well, here's the reason why. Because gameplay is what we want. We don't want to see no in-game footage, no CGI, pre-rendered cutscene bullcrap. We want to see gameplay. What did Matt Booty just said? What did Matt Booty just said? That it is important moving forward that we show gameplay for these games. Gameplay is king. Without gameplay, you can't make a purchase because you have no idea how the gameplay for this game is going to be. They show you a little CGI trailer and it's like, okay, cool. It's a new IP. Okay, cool. And then 3 years later, 2 years later, a year later, it's no longer a new IP, right? So you're expecting as time goes by, as development goes by, you're expecting to see some type of progress. You're expecting to see gameplay, not no stupid freaking CGI pre-rendered in-engine footage captured all together running on Series X. You want to see raw gameplay. How many times do I have to stress this to you guys? But some of us are too much of fanboys to realize that. How many times do I have to talk to you guys about this? Y'all don't listen. On one hand, y'all sit there and y'all call Microsoft out about gameplay. Gameplay this, gameplay that. Microsoft, you need to show gameplay running on Series X. And then all of a sudden, right? Whenever they gave us that Xbox show, the showcase was so great. It was so perfect. Perfect in the sense of they showed more first-party games than Sony. Everybody can agree that the Xbox showcase was way better than that garbage PS5 showcase. If you think otherwise, then you're just crazy. I don't know what you're smoking. Maybe you're just smoking too much of that blue joint when it comes to PlayStation. But it's safe to say that the Xbox showcase, and I've said it, but people still come after me. People still want to unsubscribe. Unsubscribe from him. All I'm sitting there advocating, the base of what I was saying was we needed to see gameplay. Gameplay and release dates. Right? I said, where's the gameplay? Where's the freaking gameplay? Now, games like what's it called? Clock Tower or whatever the heck it was called, right? And Midnight, whatever that game, Midnight, whatever it was called. Those games, okay. Right? Those are new IPs, right? They just got announced, so you can't even really get mad because it's a new IP and it's still maybe early in development. But games like Hellblade 2, games like freaking, what's that? Fable. I mean, we're already 3 years in, or almost 4 years in, depending on whenever they started development. Like you can show us gameplay mixed in with whatever the heck you were doing, in-game footage mixed in with cinematics, but you couldn't show us raw gameplay running on Series X on the world's most powerful machine. It's like, I don't freaking get it. I just don't freaking get it. And you see that Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studios, is basically advocating for gameplay. These developers need to show deep dive gameplay. Because while some of you guys will say, oh, the Starfield stuff is fake with the 21 FPS or the 19 FPS. Oh, it's fake. It's fake. But look at the deep dive. Look at the direct with your own two eyes. Don't you see the frame drops? I mean, I wonder what's wrong with some of us. We're so much of fanboys that we not even really see the writing on the freaking wall. You don't see the frame drops on Starfield when they were showing the gameplay? Oh, it's fake. It's fake. Right? The FPS counter is fake. It's fake. You don't see the frame drops. When you're fighting or shooting or whatever the case may be, or certain parts where you're exploring, frame rate is dropping. You don't even need an FPS counter to show you that the frame rate is dropping in Starfield. And it's already bad enough that it's going to be at 30 FPS. Open your freaking eyes, man. I'm tired of talking to you dudes. I'm tired of talking to you guys. It's so frustrating. Demand freaking better. Especially from Microsoft, because at this doggone point, it's now like the Series consoles is a joke. And look at this. The Series S is trending right now. Oh, let's take a look here. Let's take a look here and see why the Series S is trending. Let's take a look. Oh, come on. Put up all your documents. Put up all your paperwork. That's right, Marlon. Put up all your paperwork and show these dudes what's actually going on here. Everything is so green on the Xbox side, right? While everything is falling apart on the PlayStation side right now. Sony giving us that garbage freaking PS5 showcase. But on the good side when it comes to PlayStation is that, well, they have been delivering the games. That's the only good thing you can say about PlayStation. They will always deliver the games. They've been delivering since the beginning of this generation. It's not a lie. But as far as this year goes, just Spider-Man 2 from your first party studio and giving us a lackluster PS5 showcase, not counting the second and third party games, well, there is that. You guys decide which console is good for you. Why is the Series S trending? I'll tell you why. Distressed PS5 owner makes a petition in attempt to make Starfield a PS5 exclusive. Oh my God. What in the entire world, along with calling for the cancellation of a handful of YouTubers, it's currently sitting at 138 signatures. Oh boy, this is crazy. This is wild. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Signing this petition is just the start. We need to go out and protest at GameStops and Walmarts on Starfield's release date. This is real. You can't make this up. You want me to show you? I could show it to you. We need to submit it. We need to submit legislation to our local representatives to force Microsoft to comply. I'm laughing. This is funny. We need to go out in the mass and stop people from buying copies in launch date. Even better, go online and report every video you see praising Starfield until we make it exclusive for us and only us. YouTubers like Mr. Matty Plays Bad Games review. I'm not even gonna say whatever. I mean, yeah, this person is just cussing at this point. 138 signatures. The Series S is not trending in the right way. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. Why is the Series S trending? The company Microsoft will not let developers ignore Series S. What did we just talk about earlier in the stream? That is a bad thing, right? Because if y'all say, the Xbox fan base say that the Series S is holding back the Series X, but Microsoft is be like, shut your mouth. Series S won't be ignored. Series S will continue. That's like somebody who don't work out trying to sit here and lift or trying to rep 1,000 pounds or something like that, knowing doggone well you don't work out, right? That's what's happening to the Series S. The Series S is going to be overloaded with games like Starfield, with games like Hellblade 2, with games like State of Decay 3, with games like Perfect Dark, with games like Indiana Jones, and so on and so forth. These graphical intents, these CPU intents. Starfield is already labeled as a game that is taxing on the systems. Are we waking up and smelling the coffee here? Because of value, well, you're not going to get the best performance. And that's what Microsoft had in mind with the Series S, which is fine in terms of value, but you need to find that perfect balance between performance and value. And they could have easy well give us way more power in the Series S. I don't even care if it was $100 more and the Series X was $100 more. I don't care, because at this point, these games are getting more and more ambitious. Marlon, what you're saying, these games are getting more and more ambitious. As technology increases, right? These games are getting more demanding than ever. Wake up, guys. Wake up. All of us cannot afford a $5,000 PC or a $3,000 PC to play all of our games on and get the best fidelity and the best performance. We all cannot afford that. That's why there's consoles. Basically fixed machines that lasts between 5 to 10 years of a life cycle from these console manufacturers, right? The only thing that you can upgrade into a PS5 and a Series X, well, more like the PS5, you can change out the SSD. Series X, you can't change out the internal SSD because it's on the board, right? So you, in terms of the GPU, you can't change a darn thing. In terms of the RAM, you can't change a darn thing. In terms of the CPU, you can't change a darn thing. You're stuck with that until Microsoft or until Sony does something. And you get what you get. Right? So the Series S will always continue to be a thing. So yes, while let's celebrate that Microsoft is leaving the Xbox One generation in the dust, not so fast. So the company Microsoft will not let developers ignore Series S and only release games on Series X. This wouldn't be an issue if the Series S had more RAM. What did I just say? Some of y'all are sleeping. Some of y'all ain't ready for me. What did I just say? Instead of sitting there, we care about you guys. This is Phil here. We have great games that was showcased today on the Xbox Series consoles. We showed off 11 games in terms of first party. We showed off 14 games from our third-party worldwide partners that is coming to Game Pass and Series consoles. But before we go, we have one more thing here that I feel like you guys will get excited for, and it's the Series S console. The same Series S that you have gotten 3 years ago with better storage and a different color. Enjoy for $50 more. Enjoy. And we still have a core issue where all I'm saying, everything I've been saying for the past hour and change, all I'm saying is, as gamers, we're at the back of the line. As gamers, we're the third wheel. As console gamers, let me put preference on that. As console gamers, we're always on the back end when it comes to Microsoft. It's like we're the third wheel. We're not the front wheel. Game Pass and PC is the front wheel. Xbox console gamers are at the back of the line and will forever be. It's like, when are we going to start getting games that really fully utilize these machines? It's not going to happen if developers are not comfortable. It's not going to happen if these consoles are not powerful enough. What a shame. And y'all still sleeping. Oh my God. This wouldn't be an issue if the Xbox Series S had more RAM, but it doesn't. Microsoft shouldn't be able to force developers to adapt when it's their fault. So instead of just putting the blame on Todd Howard and Bethesda, let's also put the blame on Microsoft, because they lied about the Series X. If the Series X is so much more powerful than the PS5 and is on the level of Armageddon, right? It's just the most indestructible console of all time, right? And the Series S, oh yes, 1440p 120, and it's so great, right? What a shame. What a shame. Once again, Microsoft tricked us and lied to us. What a shame. What a shame. But some of you guys don't care, and you get what you get, right? You get lower resolution with the Series S. You get lower FPS with the Series S. You get bottleneck performance with the Series S. Ah, man, what a shame, what a shame, what a shame. It's sad, man. It's sad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. We've been lied to. I'm sorry. I am so freaking sorry. Microsoft is just going to do what Microsoft does best. You guys are going to run out there and go buy a Series S, a black Series S with 1 terabyte of storage. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. It's just very underwhelming, man. Next generation of gaming was supposed to be better than this. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we graduated to PS5 and Series X and S, we thought that, man, we're going to see things like we've never seen it before. across the board, not just on PS5, but across the board. Instead, what we're getting is mediocre experiences, and it's okay because it's in Game Pass. It's all right. We don't care. We can patch it later because it's in Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? We'll put anything out there as long as we're meeting our bottom line, and our bottom line is what we said we were going to do when it comes to Game Pass. I don't know, guys. I don't know, but there it is. I'm not happy. I'm not happy as a owner of not only one, but 2 series consoles. I'm very disappointed. My Series S has been sitting there gathering dust for months. My Series X is sitting in the box gathering dust for months. Well, it's going to keep on being that way. Unfortunately, those consoles are just going to be figurines. They're just going to be sitting there just as something that's back in time or something. Alternate dimensions of time. Trophies that's just sitting on top of there just for decorations. They're literally just for decorations. And I'm just going to keep on playing my PS5 and my PC. What a joke. What a joke. What a shame. I don't know, man. I just don't know, man. What a shame for the Series X. I guarantee you if Nintendo had the Series X, oh boy, what a shame. If Nintendo had the Series X, if Sony had the Series X, different ball game. Microsoft, it has occurred to me that you just can't get a grip. You just can't catch a break. You just can't catch a break. All these games that we're expecting from you, Hellblade 2, all these different games, right? And it's like we're being bottlenecked by these consoles, these series consoles. We're being bottlenecked because these games are probably going to be at 30 FPS. And I'm just saying, some of y'all saying, stop whining and complaining about 30 FPS. But you need to whine and complain because on the box, it states 4K up to 120 FPS. Right? Yeah. But also you had Aaron Greenberg coming out saying 60 FPS is the standard. It is definitely not the standard. 30 FPS is the standard. What a shame. And we just, it's like we miss the whole point of what's going on here. And you guys are the same ones that sit there and get mad whenever these games come out and they underperform. And you wonder why they underperform, because the more powerful your hardware is, the more easier it is for developers to develop games for, the better the games are going to look and play. And that is the problem with Microsoft right now, is that it is not that easy as like it is with PlayStation 5 to develop for. So maybe Microsoft needs to loosen up their development tools. Maybe Microsoft needs to do a better job managing their studios and making sure that these games are not only delivering from a fidelity standpoint, but also from a performance standpoint. Am I right or am I wrong? It's a shame. And some of us are too blind to see it. Nobody is knocking Game Pass and saying that Game Pass is not offering value. But also it makes you think, it makes you wonder, is Game Pass really that great for gaming besides value? Because it occurs to me that after Redfall, what's next? What is going to be the next victim of Redfall? If you can put out garbage like Redfall in terms of quality and charge $70 for it, then what is it going to say moving forward? You know what? Let's not prioritize performance here, right? Because maybe, who knows? Maybe if Todd Howard and the team prioritize performance, it might cause other issues with Starfield. forcing the game to run like garbage. Lowering the resolution, lowering the fidelity, lowering the light, and lowering the reflections. Is that stuff that can be done? Yes. But that's why you see people are petitioning for this to be a PS5 only game, because PS5 is easier to develop for. But then one could say, well, why is Final Fantasy 16 not running at 60 FPS? Well, clearly there's some issues going on there with the frame rate. But you can look at it as this. Same thing with Series X, right? Series X struggling. Just about the same. Sitting there on the sidelines, hoping that a developer can come along and fully utilize the box. See what I'm saying? It's no better on the Xbox side. So you can bash PlayStation all you want, because it ain't no better on the Xbox side. That's why I said we have to demand better, make our videos, make our statement bold, and call these companies out. Because guys, the game prices are not going to go down. Inflation is at an all-time high, right? These game prices are not going to go down. So they're going to keep on charging more and more money for these games. We need to demand better, not just from Xbox, but from PlayStation. We cannot allow Sony to get complacent and to get too comfortable. This is why we want Microsoft to deliver. Starfield, yes, even Sony even talked about Starfield and said, man, they would really want Starfield on PS5. But clearly that's not going to happen because it's an exclusive. Coming from the same Xbox fan base that said exclusives don't matter and shouldn't matter. But after the whole Bethesda ordeal, oh no, it matters now. It really does matter. When are we going to open up our eyes and realize that at the end of the day, Microsoft only cares about one thing and one thing only, and it's Game Pass. They don't even care about the Xbox console gamer. Now, here is something that Phil highlighted that I really, really want to talk about as well. Listen to this. And I'm trying to show you how hypocritical Phil Spencer is. It's almost as if like you can't take nothing this man say as value. So let's put a time stamp on this. I can't even talk today. Let's put a time stamp on this.
It's over 9,000.
What a shame. What a shame. What a freaking shame. It's just so hypocritical, man. It's like you say one thing, and I don't even know if you guys realize that Microsoft is underperforming. Like the Microsoft from 2019 is a different Microsoft today. It's like they just don't care. They just like, you know what? We're just gonna have less and less and less games over time. We're not even gonna launch with a lot of games. You go from Series X to Xbox One to 360. You see the big difference there? So many launch games on 360, so many launch games to choose from Xbox One. And then what did you get with Series X? A big fat zero. Yeah, nice and lovely. But we still not waking up. We still sleeping. Anyways, let's move on. Now, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe if you're brand new to the stream. Let's talk about what Phil is actually saying. And why I said building great games really do matter in the grand scheme of things. Because if you're not building a quality game, if you're not knocking it out of the park with the experience in terms of story, gameplay, graphics, sound, right? Replay value, characters, the world, the environment, then it makes no sense. It makes zero sense, right? Because nobody is going to buy that game. It's not going to do well, right? But in Microsoft eyes, who cares, right? You see the draw effect here. We got 25 plus million people subscribed to Game Pass. Well, here's the problem. Half of that 25 million, more than half is subscribed to PC Game Pass. Why is that? Because people know on PC, they get better performance. They get better quality when it comes to the games. So there's more people on PC Game Pass than on consoles. And Phil Spencer said that they're already at the ceiling when it comes to consoles in terms of Game Pass growth. And it's their job to increase that growth. But you're not going to increase that growth obviously he said that, Game Pass is profitable or whatever the case may be, which is fine that it's profitable and growth is all good and this and that. But at the same time, Microsoft don't care because their bottom line covers them at the end of the day. What do you mean by covering themselves with their bottom line? What I mean is, regardless if the game is trash or not, Microsoft is still getting your money. I wonder if you did hear. Did you hear what I just said? Pay attention to what I'm saying. Microsoft does not care if a game quality is bad or not. It has occurred to me. I did not want to believe this, but I have to be real with myself. For somebody who is standing on the side of real, hear me out when I say this. Microsoft does not care about quality. They don't. They have proved that time and time and time again. Marlon, why they don't care about quality? Well, they do a terrible job in managing their studios. I mean, obviously Phil Spencer came out and said that they could have done a better job managing freaking Arcane Austin, right? They don't do a good job. Not only that, but the Game Pass effect. Who cares about the FPS? Who cares about how the game looks? Right? We don't want to get sued. So we need to make sure that if we say that we're going to be launching first party games in our subscription service, that's what we're going to do. I wonder if you guys realizing what I'm saying here. Let's put all the fanboy nonsense on the shelf and let's think logically here. Microsoft does not care. It's just like Netflix. Just use an example here, a prime analogy, a prime example. If Netflix is like, listen, you are supposed to be paying for 4K resolution, right? At XYZ price. You're supposed to be getting high quality movies, right? In terms of streaming. But all of a sudden, it's not high quality anymore. Now the movies are looking like 1440p instead of 4K. What the heck is going on here? Well, we don't care because at the end of the day, we're still delivering the movies, right? We're sorry about the resolution. Maybe we can make up some sorry excuse about, can't get these movies to run right because our API, our servers are, we can't get it to run at 4K. So we might lose a little customer here and there, but the majority is probably going to stay subscribed because we have day and date movies that are tied into this subscription service, whether they're garbage or not. Same thing that could go for the production of some of these movies, right? When it comes to Netflix, these day and date movies, right? These Netflix only movies, right? That's day and date. And sometimes they get some movies that are, maybe not straight in the theater or right after theater or before theater. They go right on the Netflix, right? Or they're just day and date, just like how HBO Max was. But it's the same thing. Subscription service, who cares? Who cares? You get what you get. Who cares? You get what you pay for. You honestly think $15 a month is going to give you the best of the best and the highest quality possible? Nah, not all the time. Not saying that there's not going to be some high quality stuff in Game Pass, but it seemed like the majority of the time it's just, we don't care. This nonchalant behavior. We don't freaking care. Y'all going to get what y'all going to get. And it's so freaking sad. No, the bar needs to be set regardless if it's in a subscription service or not. When are we going to wake up and smell that coffee? Microsoft still has a job to do, right? You convince people to sign up for first party games and you say that you're going to put out high quality. It says it right there and right in high quality games. Where's you call Redfall high quality? That is not high quality, sir. Right? This is use Redfall as a prime example of what games should not look like in Microsoft subscription service that's offering insane value. Am I making sense here, or am I just wasting my breath and time? Because I don't have time to waste. Now, let's get on this main course and why I say Phil Spencer is a big hypocrite, because on one hand, he's saying one thing, and the other hand, he's just like, oh, no. You know what? Forget about what I said in that XCast kind of funny interview. Lord have mercy. Xbox boss addresses his 11 out of 10 Starfield comment. Why are you addressing it? Stand firm on what you say, right? If Starfield is an 11 out of a 10 game, right, then it should make the PlayStation gamer said, you know what? I'm gonna buy me a Series X. And granted, now, who you see out there saying they're gonna sell their PS5s to buy a Series X for Starfield? No, if everything that you're hearing now is people saying, it's time to get a PC more than ever before. Phil Spencer lied in that interview and said, oh, yeah, we got something special for the console gamers. Oh, we're going to take care of the console gamer. We're going to make sure that everybody is happy. Yeah, yet still, Xbox fans is being deserted right now. Because once again, more 30 FPS games are coming. Once again, we got to question quality. Right? Because no, we are not the blue guys, or we're not the green guys going blue. We're just the green guys. We don't want to go blue, right? We don't want to be a camouflage of the blue guys, because the blue guys are dominating and the blue guys are putting out quality. Phil Spencer himself said it. You can't make this up. It's right there. Right? Okay. Starfield comment admits he didn't like part of it. Wow, so you didn't like the part of the comment that you said? What a joke. What a freaking joke. What did I tell you? Building great games will not increase Xbox market share. Oh, really, Phil? Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? Yeah. But the Xbox Defense Force came out with their pitchforks and was coming after me. Oh, you just this. Oh, you just that. Oh, you this. Oh, you that. You just hating on Phil. You this, you that. You taking what he said out of context. Building great games don't matter, right? Building the best game possible does not matter, right? Oh, wait a minute here. What? Show them, because show them. What he say? What he say right here? Making the best Starfield is absolutely our goal. Oh, really? Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Making the best Starfield is absolutely our goal. But, admits he didn't like part of it about Starfield being 11 out of 10 game. Hold the line, they say. Hold the line. I'm done holding the line for Xbox consoles. I'm done. We have gotten another Xbox showcase, and they failed to make the console gamer in terms of the Series X primary. It's like the Series S is primary and the X is secondary. You can't make this up. So Phil is retracting on his statement. Building great games, building the best game that you can possibly make does matter. Why do you think Sony is so relevant after all these years? After over 20 years, why do you think Sony is so relevant? Because they've been delivering great games, making the best version of each game that they put out. That's why PlayStation has a staple in its name. That's why building great games has always been in PlayStation's DNA. Yes, they messed up with that PS5 showcase, but compared to all the other times that they've been delivering high quality games, You can't even count on your hands the amount of high quality games that we have experienced over time with PlayStation. That's why people love PlayStation, because they know how to fully utilize hardware. They know how to build great games. They have the best studios in the freaking world. You don't have to be a fanboy to know this. This is facts. This is facts. If Sony is just not just at number one just because they're dominated in digital goods sales or whatever the case may be, not because they're dominating selling consoles or they're dominating selling accessories. They're dominating because of the games, because games is what people play, because the games is what matters. Stop smoking the freaking joint, man. Put the joint down. It's not good for you. Put down the fanboy joint and see what I'm telling you. Microsoft has messed up. How do you go from building great games on 360 and trip and fall on Xbox One and landed on the Series console, putting out 30 FPS garbage like Redfall? Seriously, how do we go from 3 different generations and mess that all up? It's almost as if like we need to do a whole nother 180 here and figure out what the real vision here is. The vision really clear, or is it clouded? Because it seems like it's very, very clouded. It's like, no, we say one thing and then we go back on it. Same thing could be said about Jim Ryan. But the difference is with Jim Ryan, sometimes I feel like he has part of his brain kind of understands like, bro, you don't want to piss PlayStation fans off. You better make sure that those single player games are still delivering, but you also need to put out a solid multiplayer game. PlayStation have no multiplayer games on their console. That's exclusive to their console. It's somebody else's stuff. Wah! Let's cry about Call of Duty. Yeah. What's up, Doc? Yeah, what's up, Doc is all right. Doc, this ain't it. This ain't it, Chief. This ain't it, Jim. We need multiplayer games on the PS5. We do. As PlayStation gamers, we do. We've been demanding that. What did you do at the PS5 showcase? Show us a bunch of CGI freaking trailer. Nothing solid, nothing groundbreaking, nothing. But that was your time to shine, and you didn't do that. I'm sorry, that ain't it. Now, let's get to these super chats. I don't have time for this bullcrap. I really freaking don't, man. Mr. Nemesis. Thank you, Google Eyes, for becoming a member. Says, I bought an 8K TV to be next gen ready for PS5 because it said 8K. My PS5 has hard time running 4K at 120 FPS. It says it will run 800p at 120, but my Series X do. Really?
It's over 9,000.
Okay. Well, at least one of your consoles is being validated in terms of your purchase. McShawn Williams, thank you for the $10, says, I find it funny how people on Xbox side saying that people complaining about Starfield locked at 30 FPS is fake outrage. But yet, if this was said about PS fanboys, would be tearing Sony a new one. Oh, for sure. I guarantee you, if Starfield was a PS5 exclusive and it was locked at 30 FPS, guess who would be complaining? Oh, it wouldn't be a fake outrage then. It would be a crime at that point. Why are you crying? What are you crying for? Benji, why are you crying? Oh man, Starfield is at 30 FPS. Boy, stop crying and come over to the green side. Huh? What do you mean, come over to the green side? I mean, God. All y'all got is a bunch of Game Pass fillers. Y'all don't have no games, no 60 FPS games either. I mean, look at Redfall. Boy, stop crying. Stop crying. Listen, bruh. The grass ain't green any other way you turn the coin. Right? Because at the end of the day, people are crying about Final Fantasy 16. not being at 60 FPS. People are crying about Starfield locked at 30 FPS. Right? It's like nobody is happy right now. You see what I'm saying? It's like the grass is not green at all on any sides of the coin. On the PlayStation side, it's not. On the Xbox side, it's not. Nobody is happy right now. Everybody is in turmoil. But what your Lord and Savior said, Phil Spencer, I'll tell you. This is what he said. All right. So, during the Kind of Funny interview, Phil Spencer said, there is no world where Starfield is an 11 out of 10 and people start selling their PS5s as a way to frame it. So, basically, Xbox will remain behind PlayStation in terms of popularity for the time being. Now, regardless, Starfield's reception in a new interview with The Guardian, he tackled last month's comment head on. The part I did not like, or I didn't like about what I said was quality games is critically important to our strategy. So it's not that Starfield's getting at 11 out of 10 isn't our goal. Although that's a silly way of putting it, I don't know if I am going to use review scores as the mark of all quality. But making the best Starfield is absolutely our goal. I want to build the absolute best games we can. And that should have been in your DNA. I mean, you shouldn't really come out and say anything, right? About this. This should have already been built in and dealt with. Like, you see what he said? The part I didn't like about what I said was quality games is critically important to our strategy. You see what I'm saying? Like, quality should be in your DNA, regardless. Quality should be there, right? Making the best game should be there, regardless of the fact. Now, McShawn with the $5 says hypocritical on both sides of the fence with these fanboys. Marlon, and you can't make this up. All I know is Phil Spencer better wake up. I'm telling you guys. Now, for those corporate shills, now some of you dudes are going to sit there and y'all going to be like, after Phil said that, y'all going to be like, oh, Phil. Oh, thank you, Phil. Oh, yes. You're going to prioritize Starfield. Oh, thank you. Thank you, our Lord and Savior, Phil Spencer. We appreciate you for prioritizing quality. Finally, after you said it for 1,000 times, we appreciate you, Phil. Thank you so much. Yes, making Starfield the best game that you possibly can. Thank you, Phil. Ooh. Phil, thank you, Phil. Thank you, Phil. Woo! Woo! See? That's what I'm saying. Your Lord and Savior, Phil Spencer. Now, let's go ahead and let's move along. So we're talking here about the Series S, the snake system. Oh, that system is a snake, bruh. It really is. Now, Todd Howard says that Starfield is great on Series S. Most of my Starfield play has been on Series S. Oh, God have mercy. So, you see what I'm telling you? Oh, yes. Let's make the Series S so great. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Microsoft is like, oh, baby, we love you. Oh, Series X, forget about you. You a maggot. Get out of here. It's all about the Series S, baby. It's all about that awesome, extra crispy Game Pass subscription service on this machine. It's all about that 4 teraflops of GPU power. It's all about that 10 gigs of GDR6 RAM. Oh, it's all about that 512 gigs of RAM. Even though we're going to finesse the Xbox fan base into buying the same machine again for $50 more. Let's make the Series S so good in terms of Starfield. Yeah. Listen. If Series X is apparently, I'm going to say it again, apparently struggling, right? If Digital Foundry is saying that this game, right, is basically struggling on Series X, but obviously the Series S, Starfield runs so great. Starfield runs so great. On the S, it runs so great. Listen, I got an X and an S when they all came out. I put the X in the basement with the big 4K TV. My kids don't let me play it. They're always on it. So the S is upstairs and the game looks great. Oh, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. All right. So the series, see what I'm saying? This is why the Series S is not going to go anywhere. This is why. This is why the Series S is not going anywhere. It's not. Because Microsoft loves it so much. It looks great. It runs good. It's great. So there's that. All right, so let's move along here. Digital Foundry posts a huge breakdown on why Starfield runs at 30 FPS on Xbox. There's a lot going on in Bethesda's new RPG. Again, too much game for garbage hardware. Too much game for a bottleneck hardware. So you lied. You clearly lied. If the series, once again, if the Series X is so freaking great, then it should be running Starfield like a champ, right? All lies and fabrication. Well, John from Digital Foundry puts forward the argument that a frame rate target is a design decision. The question is, frame rate allows you to hit your design goals for the game. In the case of Starfield, it's clear that this is an open world or even open universe game with the item premise. All right. Now, let's listen to this. The AI simulation and a lot of the interlocking systems to create an immersive experience with all of the CPU demands that this sort of game entails, then dropping the resolution might not be much of an effect on the overall frame rate. I'm gonna say that again. See what I'm saying? They lied to us. They lied to us. They lied to us, right? So I'm gonna say this again. With all of the CPU demands that this sort of game entails, when dropping the resolution might not have much of an effect on the overall game. So in other words, Todd Howard could drop the resolution in order to give us that performance. Okay. As a developer, you may as well crank up the visuals and embrace that 30 FPS output for an overall more consistent output. Okay. Beyond the frame rate, John calls out Starfield as being the first truly beautiful game that Bethesda has ever made. And a lot of that comes down to improvements to rendering techniques, particularly the use of the real-time global illumination, reflections, and motion blur. So apparently the global illumination is something that's really taxing on the CPU. I told you guys earlier that Starfield is one of those games. It's almost as if like Crysis. Y'all remember Crysis back in the day? How that game was bringing every PC known to man to its knees. It's almost as if like Flight Simulator, when Flight Simulator first came out, trying to get that to run at 60 FPS. Even 3090s were struggling to run that game, right? So it's no different from those games. No different from Crysis, no different from Flight Simulator. That's the type of game that Starfield is, right? But unfortunately, 3 years later in the 9th generation of consoles, we don't have a console that's powerful enough to run this game at 60 FPS, because Bethesda and Todd Howard is not going to sacrifice fidelity for performance. That concludes that. Let me know y'all thoughts on the show. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. Let's go to a quick Q&A session right now. This is sad, man. Frick, Digital Foundry said 1296p. Oh my, bro. 1296p. Now, let me ask you guys this. Start a poll real quick. All right. What will you play Starfield on? Oh, shoot. All right, so is it going to be PC? Is it going to be Series X? Or is it going to be the Series S? I'll leave that to you to decide. Come in with your comments or questions if you have any. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff. If you're brand new, turn on that post notification bell on all so you never miss out on the daily updates that we do have here. Make a vote on what you're going to be playing Starfield on. I need everybody to vote right now. What are you going to be playing Starfield? How are you going to be playing Starfield? I need everybody to vote right now. Everybody to give me a vote right now on what are you going to be playing Starfield on? Because some of you guys be advocating for 60 FPS. So please, 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 please let me know. There's the voting system up. The voting system is up right now. So please let me know. Please let me know. It says that it messed up that Microsoft has fallen this hard over the last 3 years. I don't know, man. It's like they're making games. They have the games in development, but can the hardware run the games? That's the problem. You see what I'm saying? Thank you, Michael, for subscribing. Do me a favor, turn on that post notification bell and all. Can the hardware run the games? That's the problem. That's the bottleneck. You have games like State of Decay 3. You have games like Hellblade 2. You have games like, what else? What else? Gears of War 6. I mean, you have games like Everwild, which I don't even know when that's coming out. Oh, and Avowed. Apparently, that game ain't coming out probably till late 2024. I read something where they said that the visuals and stuff like that, they're actually working on the visual arts of the game, like how the game looks visually. It does not look good, right? So it's just, I don't know, man. It's like you have these games, right? And nobody can sit there and say, oh, Microsoft don't have the games. You can't say that no more. You cannot, bro, you cannot say that no more. You can't say Xbox don't have games. They got games. They got games galore. The problem is the hardware, because it occurs to me that the Series S is the main priority for Microsoft. I mean, Matt Booty just came out and said, listen, bro, y'all can sit there and say y'all want to get rid of the S all you want. The S ain't going nowhere. We're getting rid of the Xbox One generation like you guys been crying and screaming about. But the S will always be attached to the X. So how is this going to affect the games moving forward? Is this going to be a whole 30 FPS generation for Microsoft in terms of first party games? Or it's going to change? Only time will tell. because it's 2 games now, 2 exclusive, 2 first-party games that are at 30 FPS. So what is the issue here? Is it the hard? Well, clearly it's the hardware, because Starfield looks good. Anybody who is sitting there telling you that Starfield is garbage, well, maybe it's not their cup of tea and they're just saying it's garbage, but Starfield does look good. It does. Is the facial animations great? No, I don't. I'm still not a fan of the facial animations, but from everything that you're able to do in that world, not even world, that whole universe, like it's insane the amount of things that you're going to be doing in the game, right? And it just simply can't just run on the Series X. It's sad. It's sad. We paid $500 for this crap, and we can't see games. We can't even see gameplay, for crying out loud, running on Series X. And for all we know, that might never happen. Okay, this is a message to you, Microsoft. Oh, let's see here. Remember Microsoft said, oh yeah, yeah, don't worry. We got the world's most powerful console. Building great games is our focus, and we're going to continue to do as such, right? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, now you have all these games in development, but you don't have the hardware to match it. Because if the Series X was so powerful, then why are we not seeing the full capabilities of the machine? Sad, man. Sad. Sad. Cynthia, I need to see gameplay. I need to see gameplay. He says, I won't be voting because the whole locked at 30 FPS on console thing has completely turned me off, and money is too tight to even consider a PC or a laptop at all. See? Power your dreams. Power your dreams. On paper, the world's most powerful console. Power your dreams, they say. Oh yeah, power your dreams. Power your dreams. I don't know what kind of dreams you're powering. I really don't know. I really don't know what kind of dreams you're powering. I really don't know. Somebody please tell me. Because if Nintendo had a system as powerful as the Series X, we'll be seeing that system at its fullest potential now. Especially with a game. Can you imagine if Breath of the Wild, not Breath of the Wild. Yeah, Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom was on Series X? It's sad, man. It's so freaking sad. Make sure y'all hit the like button to see if we can get over 400 likes on the show today if you did enjoy it. Any more questions or concerns, guys? It's sad, man. It's sad. Power your dreams. Power your dreams. So 55% of you guys are saying PC. That is sad. That is sad. That is sad. So it occurs to me that PC is the way to go. PC is the way to go for this Xbox generation. PC is the way to go. I mean, why sit there and waste time? Right? Let's be honest. Why sit there and waste time? Why? I mean, let's be real. Why sit there and waste time buying a Series X? Well, what are you buying a Series X for? There's really no point in buying a Series X. What's the point? I'm just gonna keep it $150 with you guys. What's the whole point in buying a Series X when you can just buy a PC? Save up your money, save up your $500 and buy a PC. What's the whole point? What's the whole point? What? The Iron Lord podcast are supporting heavily Starfield at 30 FPS. Well, good for them. Good for them. To each his own. Good for them. You said, stop it, Marlon. You know dang well every PS5 person in the room voted PC. Oh my God. I can't. You see what I'm saying? You can't win. You just can't win. It says same reason you buy any console, you can't afford a PC. If you can afford a PC with no issues, there's really no need for a console. It is true. He said, bro, if Nintendo had Series X and I can play Zelda at 4K 60, it would be over, bro. Oh man. Oh man. It's sad, Neil. It's sad. It's sad. Says I have a 3070 and it's already outdated. Just got it a year ago. I mean, a 3070 can run some good games. Thank you so much for the happy Father's Day. Yes, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for the love. Thank y'all for the support, man. Like, for real though. Like, it's sad. It's very sad. It's very sad. Says I have a PC with a Ryzen 5 with NVIDIA RTX 3060. Hey, that's good enough. That's good enough to get you going. Might not be good enough for 4K 60 gameplay with ultra settings, but it will get you some decent 1440p gaming. Superman, appreciate that. If it runs at solid 30, what's the big deal, bro? Listen, bro. Listen. That's not the point, bro. That's not the point. Why settle for 30 when you can get 60? Right? When that was already apparent to us. Why are we stuck at 30? I don't want to, bro. I played Final Fantasy 16 just for like 5 minutes or maybe less than 10 minutes in quality mode, and I could not stand it. I had to go to performance. Even though the performance mode was not stable, I'd rather sit there and get 45 or 50 FPS versus 30 or it dropping below 30. No, sir. No, sir. This generation of consoles, and you're telling me you're okay with 30? Capped 30? Okay, bro. Okay. Dan says, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. Yeah, listen, 60 FPS is a wild card at this point. 60 FPS is like a myth at this point when it comes to Microsoft. Don't expect Microsoft to give you no 60 FPS. It's just not going to happen at this point. Don't expect the full potential of the Series X because people are okay with 30 FPS. They're okay with it. So why shouldn't we be okay with it? When these companies are out here finessing us, lying to us, and telling us these systems are 10 times more powerful, 100 times more faster, and blah, 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 and all this type of stuff. But it's okay. It's okay because I'm a fanboy, and it's okay. 30 FPS is okay. Man, get out of here. Get out of here with that, bro. Get out of here with that. 30, I'm telling you, if this was Sony, you wouldn't hear the end of it. It would not be okay if it was Sony, but because it's Microsoft, oh, they get a pass. What a shame. What a freaking shame. I'm done with you. I'm done with it, man. Dan, thank you for the $5. Says the only ones whining about Starfield are you ponies. Everyone seems excited and calling it game of the year. What? Oh, game of the gen. Stop capping and just be the pony you are. Well, first and foremost, Mr. Dan, listen to me, bro. Dan Lazaro, listen. Dan Lazaro, sir, my good sir. Nobody is sitting here whining about Starfield. The only thing that we're whining about is the FPS, right? Because the FPS is more than capable of being better on the Series X. That is where my argument is. I never said that Starfield is bad or it's trash. I just said that the game is good. After the second phase, after the delay, after seeing the game a second time, I said that the game looks good. And I'm looking forward into playing the game. So before you start talking and going on a charade and talking nonsense, this has nothing to do with PlayStation. If this was PlayStation and this game was at 30 FPS, oh, I'll be ranting. I'll be ranting and be like, yo, what is this? Who wants to play a game like this? Who wants to play a massive game like Starfield at 30 FPS? We're so okay with 30 FPS. So you going on a charade about, oh, you're just doing, oh, you're just this and you're just that and you're just. Okay, bro. Okay. Thank you for your $5. He says, are you going to read my $5? What did you say? Oh, my bad. Says, I don't know why people keep saying you're a fanboy when you talk about all companies if they mess up. It says they need to watch you more. I don't care, man. I don't care. People are always gonna have their opinions. I don't care. I really don't. I really don't. The truth is the truth. We're being bottlenecked by both the series consoles, but y'all don't want to hear the truth. But on that note, thank y'all so much for the support. And thank y'all so much for liking, subscribing, and taking the time out of your day. I'm not going to hold y'all up. Today's Father's Day, and I'm going to spend the rest of my day with my kid. And yeah, so I take my precious time away to come on here to talk to you guys. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Love you guys. Be blessed. Be easy. And as usual, keep it gaming. I'm out. Enough said. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button.